All right, today we're going to talk about something called gap analysis. Sounds a little corporate, right? But stick with me because it's actually a super simple and super powerful tool for turning those big, ambitious goals into plans you can actually achieve. We're going to break down how you can bridge that gap between where you are today and where you want to be tomorrow.
You know that feeling, right? We've all been there. Something's just not working. Maybe a project's hit a wall or a team isn't hitting its goals, but you can't quite put your finger on why. It kind of feels like you're just fumbling around in the dark, trying random things and just hoping something sticks. And that, right there, is the real problem. In the world of business, guessing is a really, really expensive strategy. It just leads to wasted time, wasted money, and a whole lot of wasted effort on solutions that don't even touch the real root cause of the problem.
I love this analogy. Think about it. You decide you're going to bake a cake. You get out the flour, the sugar, the mixing bowl, you're all set to go. But then, halfway through, you realize, oh no, you don't have any eggs. All that prep work is basically useless because you're missing a key ingredient. That's exactly what happens when businesses jump into action without doing a proper diagnosis first.
So how do you avoid that whole eggless cake situation in your own work? Well, this is where gap analysis comes in. It's this really straightforward tool that's designed to give you a clear diagnosis, turning all that guesswork into a solid, actionable strategy.
At its heart, gap analysis is really just a simple comparison. It all starts by defining two key things. First, your current state, and you've got to be honest about where you are right now. And second, your future state, a really clear picture of where you want to end up. That space between those 2 points, that's the gap. That's what you need to cross.
Here's a great way to picture it. Let's say your current state is a trusty old flip phone. It makes calls, it sends texts, and that's pretty much it. Your future state, your goal, is the latest and greatest smartphone. The gap isn't just the phone itself, it's all the stuff you're missing. A better camera, a faster processor, a whole universe of apps. Those are the specific things you need to build or get.
Okay, so how does this actually work? The great thing about gap analysis is it's not just some abstract theory. It is a practical 4-step method that gives you a clear roadmap to get you from the problem all the way to the solution. The whole thing breaks down into 4 really clear steps. First, you get brutally honest and identify your current state. Second, you dream a little and define that ideal future state. Third, and this is the magic part, you find the gaps. You pinpoint the specific skills, technologies, whatever it is you're missing, and finally, you create a real, concrete action plan to build that bridge and close the gap.
Now, let's talk for a second about who often leads this process. You can think of the analyst as the kind of bridge builder. You see, while anyone can use this method, it's often a business analyst who's guiding the way. Their job isn't just to spot the gap, but to actually help design the bridge to get across it.
I just love this metaphor. You know, the business might see 2 cliffs, where they are now and where they want to be. And they just say, we want to be over there. The analyst is the one who steps in and says, okay, awesome, here's the blueprint for the bridge that's going to get us there safely and efficiently.
This is a hugely strategic role. It means asking those really smart questions, digging deep for data, and finding the true pain points. It means running workshops to get insights from the whole team. They're trying to uncover the real issues. And then, this is so important, they help prioritize which gaps need to be closed first. It's about guiding the entire construction of that bridge.
Okay, enough with the theory. Let's make this totally concrete with a little story. We'll call it the coffee shop story. We're going to follow a fictional shop called The Daily Grind and see how they used a gap analysis to totally transform their business.
So here it is, their whole gap analysis laid out. Pretty clear, right? Their current state, they only sell coffee to people who physically walk in the door. Their future state, they're dreaming of a slick mobile app for pre-orders and a speedy delivery service. The gaps just jump right out at you. They have no app, no delivery team, and no digital marketing to speak of. And right from those gaps, a super clear action plan just appears. To solve the no app gap, well, they need to hire a developer. To solve the no delivery gap, they've got to partner with some drivers. And to make sure people actually use it, they have to close that marketing gap, maybe with a big promo on Instagram. See? Each gap points directly to an action.
And here is the payoff. This is the best part. By systematically finding and closing those gaps, the Daily Grind saw a 30% increase in sales. 30%. That is the power of moving from just guessing to a focused, data-driven strategy. It delivers real, measurable results.
So let's do a quick recap of this superpower.
It really boils down to a simple 4-step process. First, understand your current state. Second, define where you want to go. Third, identify what's missing. And fourth, make a real plan to close that gap. That's it.
So, I'll leave you with this final thought to take with you. As you go back to your own work, start looking at things through this lens. What's the biggest gap between where your project is today and where you really want it to be? Because just identifying it, that's the first step to building that bridge to success.